And we're just hours away from the fourth Democratic presidential debate. 12 candidates will take the stage tonight in Westerville, Ohio for the first debate in over a month. A lot has happened since then. The debate will actually be the first since the impeachment inquiry was launched into President Trump. I want to bring in CBSN political reporter Caitlin Huey-Burns. She's actually in Westerville, Ohio for tonight's debate. So Caitlin, what are really the main storylines you're watching for tonight?
Well, first and foremost, what separates this debate from debates past is that you do have this umbrella of the impeachment inquiry that has really been blotting out the sun, especially on the campaign trail. That adds a challenge for those lower tier candidates that have been trying to break through, and the other candidates who have been trying to focus on kitchen table issues, especially in a swing state like Ohio, where they are tonight. It also raises the question about whether this debate might be more focused on foreign policy, given the discussion that you just had at the top of this show and the president's moves here. So a few things that I'm going to be watching tonight. First and foremost, Joe Biden, the former vice president, at center stage tonight. Also, the focus of the president's attacks over the past several weeks and the focus really of what started this impeachment inquiry with President Trump asking the Ukrainian president to dig up dirt on Joe Biden and his son Hunter. Then you have Elizabeth Warren, who we have seen steadily rising in the polls, overtaking Joe Biden in our newest CBS News Battleground Tracker. Does she become the subject of attacks from other rivals who see her as an emerging frontrunner? Then you have candidates like Bernie Sanders, who is making a return to the campaign trail today after being sidelined after suffering a heart attack. Can he regain any momentum, and what are voters giving him another chance here? And then you have a candidate like Kamala Harris, who has been trying to gain momentum after falling rapidly in the polls and pretty consistently trying to reboot her campaign. Can the debate stage offer her that opportunity tonight?
And Caitlin, as you mentioned, that Ukrainian controversy coming up tonight, we know that Joe Biden's son Hunter sat down with Good Morning America and did that interview today. Why do you think he chose to do this ahead of the debate?
Well, this could raise some questions about whether this becomes more of a focal point in tonight's debate, given that fresh interview coming from Hunter Biden. In that interview, he addressed whether he believed there was any sort of conflict of any appearance of conflict of interest, and whether he got that position on that board of that Ukrainian energy and gas company because of his family name. Let's take a listen to how he answered those questions.
I want to get to the heart of it. Did you and your father ever discuss Ukraine?
No. As I said, the only time was after a news account. It wasn't a discussion in any way. There's no but to this. No, we never did.
Your dad said, I hope you know what you're doing.
I hope you know what you're doing.
I do?
And I said, I do. And that was literally the end of our discussion.
Why?
Because my dad was vice president of the United States. There's literally nothing as a young man or as a full-grown adult that my father, in some way, hasn't had influence over. It does not serve either one of us.
If your last name wasn't Biden, do you think you would have been asked to be on the board of Burisma?
I don't know. I don't know. Probably not. I don't think that there's a lot of things that would have happened in my life that if my last name wasn't Biden.
And you can see there, Rena, that those responses, I will say I talked to the Biden campaign and they are confident. They said that Hunter Biden responded forcefully in that and with conviction, pointing out what they called the illegal acts of President Trump and Rudy Giuliani. And they say that the former vice president is at the center of these attacks because he is the most formidable against Donald Trump. But there are some questions about that issue, about that kind of question of electability. We saw in our CBS News Battleground Tracker poll that the former vice president fell about 10 points since last month when voters were asked about whether he is best equipped to handle Donald Trump. And we have also seen that voters in that poll said that they were somewhat satisfied, not entirely very satisfied with how the former vice president is responding here. So do the other candidates see this interview from Hunter Biden as an opportunity to advance or go after Biden? Remains to be seen. They have been very supportive of the former vice president, and they also know that in past debates, going after Biden has only really backfired for candidates who tried to go that route.
Caitlin Huey-Burns on the ground there in Westerville, Ohio. Caitlin, thank you very much.